Not unlike the lemon law claims that we handle. A lot of times the difference between a good case and a bad case is whether the consumer has taken the time and the effort to preserve their evidence. Now, preserving the evidence in a credit reporting lawsuit is really very easy. It's basically keeping copies of your credit reports, keeping copies of any letters you have from any creditors denying you credit or revoking one of your credit lines, and keeping copies of any correspondence that you have back and forth with the creditor or with the credit bureaus. Obviously, everything should be sent out certified mail because you want to be able to prove that you sent the letter and that the letter was received. So generally, evidence preservation for credit reporting lawsuits is easier. Evidence preservation for debt collection, for abusive debt collection lawsuits, can be more difficult. For abusive debt collection lawsuits, you want to keep track, for instance, if they're contacting your neighbors, you want to keep track of each and every neighbor that was contacted, when they were contacted, and what was said. You have to do the legwork on that type of work. For an abusive phone call case, you want to keep a log of each and every time that the debt collector contacted you by telephone. Keep a log of when they contacted you, what time it was, and what was said, and what you said in return. If they're sending you abusive letters, obviously keep track of the abusive letters. For the debt collection lawsuits, if they're abusing you and they are not leaving messages on your message machine, because sometimes they do. And by the way, if you do, obviously hold on to that message. Record that message or somehow make arrangements to have that message recorded and saved to somewhere, because those messages can be very important. In terms of tape recording phone calls, this can be tricky because there are certain states that do not permit people to tape record phone calls without consent. One thing you can do if you're getting abusive and harassive telephone calls is you can send them a certified letter asking them to knock it off, asking them to stop it, and also advising them that from here on forward, you're going to be tape recording the phone calls. After you sent that letter and after you get the receipt showing that that letter was received, you have notified them that you're going to be tape recording the phone calls. Go ahead and start taping the phone calls. At that point, if they keep calling you, at that point there is consent. So that's one thing you can do to help preserve and build your evidence in the event that you want to pursue a wrongful debt collection lawsuit. Thank you very much.